Hello, everybody. My name is Lucas, and do you have a Klipsch 2.1 Pro Media setup? I've had mine since 2010. It has been with me through college, through living back at my mom's house, living on my own, getting married. It's been with me for a very long time. It's been with me for about 12 years. And what's pretty common with the Pro Media is I have a second gen one. And what's pretty common with them is that the power amps on them tend to go out. This is very common with them. Some people have fixed it by opening it back, it's all contained inside of the sub itself. So people open it up, they'll reflow the solder, they'll change things out. Well, I decided just to take it and put it to its own separate unit so that way I don't even have to mess with any of the clip stuff that came with it. So I'm going to kind of show you a little bit of what I did today, talk about it, and I'll get into the finer details with it. Hopefully this helps some of you because I know some of you are going to run into this problem. But guys, if it's your first time here, if you've been here before, really appreciate if you push that subscribe button. I do music tutorials. I kind of do stuff like this every once in a while. I don't want you to miss any of that cool stuff. So without further ado, let me jump in and let me talk about exactly what I did. So I didn't exactly think up this idea by myself. I think I found it on the Klipsch forum. I cannot remember where I found it. If you've done this or if you know what I'm talking about, please post it in the comments down below so I can give credit to whoever did it before me. I can't remember where I found it, and I went back and tried, and I can't even find it. So basically, I was researching. My right side, my right speaker, had went out, and I was researching it. And basically, what I found is that this happens to a lot of people. It's either the left speaker or the right, or it's either the right side or the left side won't have sound anymore. And it's not the speakers that are bad; it's the actual amp inside of the subwoofer, because everything for these speakers are housed inside the subwoofer. So you get power and your preamp and everything is housed inside of there. And Klipsch is very famous for their power amps to go out. So I was researching it, and one guy said that he bought himself a little. It's hard for me to describe exactly what this is. It's basically an amp and a preamp all in one. It's a little speaker system. It's a little bitty board that you hook up, and you run your speakers to it and your sub, and it works better than before. Actually, from in my experience, and he ordered that, and he ordered the power supply, and I literally ordered what he ordered. And so what he ordered was a Damagoo 50 watt plus 100 watt 2.1 channel subwoofer amplifier board with treble and bass control. So it's an amplifier board. It was kind of hard for me to actually explain it because it does preamp stuff and it does power stuff, because with the Pro Media 2.1 it's kind of split up. All the power stuff is in the sub, and you literally just have two knobs underneath the right speaker to mess with. But this is totally awesome, and it's very, very easy. If you're having this problem where one of your sides is going out, make sure you test the speaker that's not working. Test that in the side that is working to make sure that it actually is the power amp itself. So basically all I did was I ordered both of these from Amazon, and it came in. I think as of recording this, it cost me like $60. Inflation has been so insane. I don't know how much it'll be whenever you're watching us. Hopefully it's not as much. And I got both of them in, and the amplifier board comes apart, so you kind of have to assemble it, but it's really not that hard. So assembling it is kind of, I don't say difficult, but you kind of have to think about it because it doesn't really tell you in the instructions. I had to go back to the Amazon page where I ordered it from and kind of look at it. You get two plates. You get a top plate and you get a bottom plate. And basically what I did was those really like long gold standoffs. I took those and I just put the screws through the holes, and I screwed those in from the top. And then once I did that, I took it and I flipped it over and I put the bottom plate on. And you're going to get these little gold standoffs too. I'm very kind of familiar with these because it's the same standoffs that they use when you're installing a motherboard inside of a PC case. So I was used to these already. And you take those standoffs and you screw that into the bottom of the long gold standoffs. And then once you do that, you just line everything up, and then you put the other set of screws to the bottom plate. So now you have your top plate and you have your bottom plate. You also have to put the knobs on. The knobs themselves are kind of cheap, I'm not going to lie. I would probably recommend in the future replace them because I don't know how long these are going to last. They're very, very, they're plastic and they're kind of flimsy, but they work. I turned all of my knobs all the way to the left, and I put all of them on. It's fairly simple. You just kind of go real slow and just kind of push till it reaches the end. You do get a screwdriver included with the set, but I actually just have my own set that I use, which is a lot better. For the screws, when you're screwing in the standoffs, it's a J000 is the ones that work for me. It's very, very small. And I think it was a J1 Phillips head for the connections in the back whenever you're hooking up the speakers themselves. So hooking up the Klipsch speakers themselves, that is kind of easy. The sub is a little tricky. I'll talk about that after I talk about the speakers. So for the speakers themselves, all you gotta do is you unscrew little screw connections in the back. And what's neat about this, about the damn glue, which it has a different name on the top. It's like Wurzlu or something. I can't even pronounce it. I'm gonna butcher all these names, but it's a different name on top. But don't worry, it works. So when you're putting the speakers in there, you're gonna have a red mark of it. The red mark on the wires itself. That's the hot one. So you put that one in positive, and you put the other one in negative. And it's just very simple. Just don't do like me, and make sure you have the left wire goes in left, because I put the right in the left, and I had to move it. Just take it, screw it down. That's very, very easy. Now, the tricky part is going to be the sub. So what I did with the sub was I took all the screws out of the back. Unplug it first. Unplug it so that way you don't shock yourself. Unscrew all the screws on that little back plate. And I had to take a flathead from my screwdriver and kind of push it underneath and kind of pull up on that back plate. Because if you've never removed that back plate before, there's like this little like sticky seal that's all around it, which the seal was so cheap and crap. Because as soon as I pulled it off, like parts of it were like torn, and some of it was actually stuck to the glue for like the components inside the actual sub itself. It was kind of stuck to it. So the part of my seal that wanted to stay, I left it. I threw the other parts away. So once you pull that up, you're going to see that you have your power section, your preamp, and you're going to have a wire that is running to your sub speaker itself. Unplug that cable. It runs from the power supply all the way to the speaker itself. Just unplug that, because you're not going to need that anymore. And what I decided to do was I unscrewed the preamp and the power section from inside the sub itself, because we weren't going to be using that anymore. I unscrewed it and I took that out, because I didn't want it to get in the way of anything or cause any problems or anything like that. So I took that out. Now this is the trickiest part of the whole conversion. Is you're going to need to run some wire from your sub speaker to the amplifier board, right? I already had some made, because I just put a Android Auto deck in my truck not too long ago, so I already had some pre-made, so it was very easy. All I had to do was I had to widen the positive clip a little bit, because it was a little bit small, but besides that, it was easy. So you're going to need some clips. So if you don't have any wire like this, if you don't have any wire made like that before, all you need is some generic speaker wire. You need a little small clip, and you need a big clip. You're going to see them whenever you take out that back plate. You're going to see what they look like. One's positive and one's negative. By the way, the reason I've never really done anything like this before, so I want to empower people to do it by themselves. So if I kind of misspoke and say things wrong, that is why. It's very, very easy to do. All you're going to need is you're going to need some wire, and you're going to need the big clip. You're gonna need the two type of clips. So if you buy like electronics kit, I actually had a kit and I was ready to like strip some wire and stuff like that. So you may need some wire strippers. You may need like some pliers to clamp the wire inside the little clip itself. But it's very, very, very easy. Like all you really have to do, I mean, literally look it up on YouTube, or just look at the wire that came out of the clips itself. It's very, very easy to do. You just have to clip it on the back. So this is the wire. You clip the little clip. You clip it on the back right here. And I had to widen my big clip, because positive clip. I think it's a positive clip, because it was a little bit too small. So I just widened it up a little bit and put it on there. And I tested everything before I actually put everything in its right position to make sure it worked. And it actually worked on its very first try. I also had to run to Best Buy, because I needed a 3.5 millimeter cable to connect from the back of the amplifier board to my computer. I thought I had one of these. I did have one of these. I lost it. Don't know where it was. It was in my truck. I had it forever. I lost it. So I had to run to Best Buy and actually pick one up. And I picked up two, so now I have a spare. This thing also has Bluetooth too. I probably will never really use the Bluetooth, or I might use it like once. You can kind of set it to, you can pair with it. I haven't even done it yet, because I doubt I'll ever going to use it. This is strictly going to sit on my desk, and it's strictly going to be for my computer speakers, which is why I did it. And it's very easy. Like I said before, the hardest part is to get that wire to run from your sub to the amplifier board. And what I did was I was thinking about coming out of the screw hole, but what I ended up doing is I just ran the wire up out of the top of the back plate for the sub, and those two screws in the left hand corner, I just didn't tighten them down like super tight, so that way it's not completely pinching the wire, but the wire is fine. It's not going to move. And after that, just twist your ends of your wire and put them right into the sub. The sub hook up on the back of the amplifier board, and everything, and it should work. It was very, very easy for me to do. And what's really cool about this little amplifier board is you now can control what frequency the sub kicks in at. You have a crossover knob. You have how loud the sub is, which you had that on the old little preamp from the Klipsch. But you have a high, you have a treble and a bass knob for your top speakers. And then you also can control the volume, of course. But you have so much more functionality on the preamp side of things than you did even on the preamp side of things. You have so much more functionality. As you can see, different outfit, different day. And as I'm editing the video together, I came to realize I didn't give you guys a good enough explanation of how well the new amp board sounds. Okay, when I originally recorded the original video, I kind of wanted to get all of the steps out of my head because I had literally just did it and I wanted it to be as fresh as possible. But now that I've had, I think it's been about 2 or 3 weeks since I've had the Damgoo amp board and I've been using it and listening to it, I actually have a very good overview of how it sounds, and it sounds absolutely fantastic. I wish I would have done this sooner. So if you're thinking about doing it, please don't delay. Hurry up and do it. And the reason why I say this is because I can hear so much better now. Like, I have the full spread of the stereo spectrum. Full spread of the stereo spectrum. That is a tongue twister. I can hear so much better now. I can hear the left. I can hear the right. I think the amp in my Klipsch subwoofer has been going out for a very long time because I can hear so much clearly now. Like, because before, like on the little preamp module that's underneath the right speaker, it would always crack all the time, so the volumes were kind of inconsistent. But now it's like I can hear the left and I can hear the right very well. I couldn't do that before. And a good example of this is I had mixed a Kill Switch Engage cover song I'm doing with one of my friends, and I had it all mixed and I hadn't touched it in a while, so I went back and I went listen to it again, and I could hear that I scooped out way too much mids out of it. And I could kind of hear that when I had the old system set up, but I could hear it much more clearly now on the Damgoo. It's just so much better. So I went back in and I added some more mids and I got it sounding pretty killer now. But the Damgoo helped me with that because I had the full spread of the spectrum. I could hear it a lot better and things just come through a lot more clearly. And something that you have on the Damgoo that you don't have on the old Klipsch system is that you can mess with your highs, and you can mess with the highs and you can mess with the lows. So obviously all the lows are going to come from the sub, but you have a treble knob on here that you can mess with. So I have it dialed in right. I think it's a little dark, but I have it right before it starts to get out of control. So you can mess with the highs. You have so much more control. You can mess with the bass crossover. I know I'm kind of repeating some of the stuff I've already repeated before, but if you're thinking about it, do it. Because, like, it's so good. It's to the point that I literally just wanted to sit at my computer and just listen to stuff. Like, I've been playing Elden Ring, not in headphones, because I've been playing, like, Warzone and Elden Ring. I've been playing those in headphones forever because the power delivery on the speakers was messed up. And then at one point, only my left one worked. There's a whole reason why I did this. But now it's like, listening to, like, YouTube videos and music. I just want to sit. I just want to listen because it sounds so good. So I hope I was able to accurately portray that to you. I wish I had a way I could actually let you hear how it sounds, but it'd be very, very hard to do because of the room acoustics and just I'm sure it exists out there, but I don't have the proper setup and equipment to let you purposely hear it. And it's kind of hard to portray how two speakers sound out there to get it into YouTube land. But full disclosure, you need to do it because it sounds so good, and it's very easy. The hardest part of it is going to be wiring the sub with the two connectors to get it to the actual amp board. But you can get someone to help you. If you're semi do it yourself and you've done a little bit of do it yourself stuff, it's very easy. I mean, you can literally look up another YouTube video of how to crimp speaker wire together, and you could do it, and it's very easy. So don't be scared. Definitely order this. Definitely do it. I wish I could find where I found this at, but I've tried and I can't remember where I found that. Like I said, I think it was the Klipsch forum that I found it. I'm gonna put the links in the description. Go do it. It's very easy. You don't have to replace your entire system. The speakers on here are actually really, really good. It's just the whole amp and preamp sections that can get a little bit spotty. I mean, it lasted me 12 years, and so I can't complain. So to wrap things up, if you're thinking about doing it, definitely do it. If you still have your old Pro Media system somewhere, you threw it in the attic or have it in storage because you want to use it again at a later date and time, go grab it. Hook us up. Yeah, you don't have to use the stuff I use, but just get you a little amp board that can power it, and get you a power supply, and you can go to town and you can get some awesome sound, and you can enjoy using computer speakers again, which is kind of a lost art because not a lot of people have those anymore. A lot of people either use headphones, a lot of people just use laptops. They don't even have desktops anymore, or they'll use their studio monitors. I have like studio monitors that I mix on right here. I don't use those to listen to stuff. Very rarely. I always use my clips. So that's why I wanted to keep them intact, and it helps me kind of, if I bounce my mixes out from my DAW, from listening from here, then I can listen on here. And since I know these so well, I can kind of, adjust it, and it helps me listen to different set of speakers. Anyway, sorry for rambling. I know I've repeated myself a lot, but go get it, hook up your speakers, and you'll thank me later. So thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for spending some time with me. I really do appreciate it, and I hope this helped, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.